Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Garver, and this is English 11A Honors. I'm sorry I'm not here today. My daughter is having wisdom teeth surgery, so sure you understand, but I wanted to make this video so we could still move forward and not run behind in class. So thank you for understanding. I've been teaching 28 years, and I've been on AOC most of that time. I came on to AOC the second year it was created, and I've been here ever since. I teach English and Project Linus. On a personal note, I am married. My husband's a voiceover actor. Yes, you've probably heard him on a couple of commercials from time to time. One current one is Kingsford Cole, and he's done FanDuel. He's done um, some internet security things that you've seen on TV, a whole bunch of stuff. I have two kids. My daughter Bethany is a former AOC student. She's a graduate, and she goes to Long Beach State. She's studying to be a costume designer. So she's having a lot of fun there. She loves the beach and being in that area. I went to Long Beach State as well for my undergraduate, and I loved it. So it's a really good school. Maybe consider it. My son is Evan. He is a junior, just like you guys. He goes to Saugus High School and he is a singer. He is in the Saugus choir for concert choir and show choir, and he's also in the show choir at Hart High School. Very, very good singer. The thing about him that makes him a little bit unique is he is completely deaf. He has cochlear implants. But that hasn't stopped him from learning how to sing and being able to match pitch perfectly. And you would never know because cochlear implants kind of make it where his speech just sounds like everybody else's too. So he's kind of remarkable that he can do that. So we also have a cat named Chloe. Oh, and also if you're wondering if I know sign language, I know some, and I can help you with some sign language. We have a kitty named Chloe. She is the calming piece in our wild whirlwind of a family. We love her a lot. And that's just a little bit to start off about us. Okay, so let's see, go ahead and move forward. We're going to do a seating chart next class, so we'll worry about that then. We're going to start off with computer numbers and phone pocket numbers. So the numbers I'm going to give you here in just a second are going to be those that you're going to put your phone in and you're going to get that computer. I would suggest excusing students by tables to do that once I put those together. Okay, so our first set of computer numbers is the AM class. This should be Tuesday, Thursday AM. Go ahead and pause as needed, but these are, please commit to memory your name with the number that goes with it. So here's the first 13 names. Okay, and then we're going to forward a little bit. Next 13 names or so. Okay, and then the next 13 names. What you're going to do is you're going to log on to Google Classroom and wait. We're going to get you into your Google, or you're going to log in and then we'll log you into your Google Classroom. Okay. So just log in and wait for Google Classroom instructions. If this is the PM class, just fast forward through this list and the next list will go. Okay. For list number 2, this is my PM class, Tuesday, Thursday, PM. Please commit to memory your computer number with your name. You're going to use this for your pocket and your computer. Please put your phone in the pocket and go ahead and grab this computer. Do this by table, pocket and computer. Go ahead and log in. We're going to do Google Classroom here in a minute. But it's very important you follow directions in this section. Go ahead and log in and wait for directions. Okay, and pause as needed throughout the video. All right, so these are our computer numbers. Next is going to be the Google Classroom for Tuesday, Thursday, AM only. If this is not Tuesday, Thursday, AM, please fast forward through this code. It is really important I get the right students in the right Google Classroom. Okay, Tuesday, Thursday, AM students. It is very important you get in my Google Classroom right now because I will be checking today, even though my daughter is in surgery, I will be checking to make sure all of my students made it into my Google Classroom. I will be checking to make sure all of my students are in all of my accounts. If all my students are not in all of my accounts, I will be forced on Wednesday to come find you in whatever classes you're in and bring you back to 110 and have you sign into all your accounts while I watch over. I'd really love to not take time from your classes and my schedule to do that when I could be using that time to do other things for you. So please follow directions and log all the way in. Pause as needed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch to Tuesday, Thursday, period 3. If you are on Tuesday, Thursday, period 3, you are needing to log in to this code. It is very important you log in immediately right now because I will be checking to make sure all of my students are in my Google Classroom and in all my other accounts that I'm signing you up for today. If my students are not all on my roster, which I will be checking today, even though my daughter is in surgery, I need to make sure all my students are where they need to be in my classrooms, in my different digital classrooms. If not, what I'm going to have to do is pull you from your class tomorrow, any class that I have available to come and get you, pull you from that class, bring you into 110, have you sign up for all of your accounts, and then let you go back to class. That takes time away from your class. That takes my time away from doing other things for you. And I'd rather be spending our time a little more wisely. So please follow directions all the way through. And then the sub, I'm going to ask you to just walk around and check computers periodically. Thank you. Okay, pause as needed. Okay, so once we're in Google Classroom, everything else pretty much looks the same and just have different colors. Okay, I'm going to show you initially, and everybody just go ahead and look up here for now. Tilt your computers a little bit. Just want to show you first the agenda. The agenda is something you will get when I remember to attach it. I will just realized I didn't attach the agenda. Let me put that in there. Let me go grab it. Get on Google. The agenda tells you what you are doing for the week. And the reason we do that is because we know that we like understanding what's kind of coming at us for the entire week. It looks like this, and you will get one at the beginning of every week on Monday. My computer will load it. It'll tell you the detail of what homework is due, what assignments are due, what tests are due. Here you go. All the way as to where to meet. Now on Friday, we're looking to meet in 107. We're waiting to find out if we have that reservation. We may or may not have that reservation, so just wait to hear from us. But sometimes we like to combine the two classes together, the one in history that's happening at the same time as the one in English. We'll combine them together and do what's called a joint lesson. Those are really a lot of fun because there's little better discussion points. Sometimes we have you guys pair up and group up just within the discussion, and it's just a little bit more lively and interesting. Okay, but check this every week. It'll tell you every day what we're doing. If you're absent, it tells you what we did and what you need to turn in. Okay, and it shows you vocabulary is due, when your course orientation is due. You have a survey due on Friday. So this lets you know when everything is due. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is our calendar. We have a calendar that you can reach and know what we're planning at any time. We plan about 3 weeks in ahead. So you can always see ahead of time what's happening. Go ahead and go to students, scroll down to, and you can just watch this. You don't need to do this directly. Watch for this, teachers and classes. If you go to English, and you have to do this through English, through Mrs. Garver, Honors English, class calendar, And there's our class calendar for as far as we've planned. Okay. And you can just keep scrolling through the months. It'll tell you when vocab test, the first vocab test is September 1st and 2nd. You get the vocab today. And you'll see the next vocab list for next week comes out Thursday. So vocab is always due on Friday, but I release it. So it's been released already here on this day for this Friday. This Friday's list, the 21st, gets released on the 13th. So that gives you an extra weekend, okay, to get it done. So I try to give you time wherever I can because I know you guys are busy and have a lot going on. Okay, so that is the agenda. That is what that looks like. And you always want to look at that. Also, all your assignments are underneath this. This is reminding you to take the vocabulary, which we're going to do here right now. You'll see here, don't do this right now. We have an introduction survey. This is due by Friday. Take your time with this because this is asking you not only about your experience with technology, it's asking you about what your name you want to be called, what pronouns you want to be called, but it's also asking you who you work well with and who maybe you don't work well with. We understand that sometimes there's a little bit of history, but sometimes it's like you shouldn't work with your best friend because you talk too much and you don't get something done. Maybe there's somebody you really like, but you just don't work well together because they like to do things really early and you need to wait till a little bit more towards the last minute, and that's just not a good working environment. You need to let us know that stuff. So take your time. We need first names and last names, and we're asking for reasons. We're not going to read these to anybody. This is just for Shapiro and I to know. We don't want to put together any groups if we're doing some group stuff that are going to potentially have any hostile or frustrating moments. We want to kind of look out for that. Okay, so give us your honest answers, knowing that no one's going to see it. Your best friend's not going to see it. And let us know that stuff. Okay, so do that later, but just know that that's due Friday. If you don't fill it out, you get whatever we give you, and we call you whatever's on the roster. So there's some different things. We need to know that stuff. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do vocabulary.com. So go ahead and click on your computers. Each class has a different code. So go ahead and click on your link for vocabulary.com. And what it's going to do is it's going to take you into a class. So go ahead and sign in with Google and you'll get in the right class. Once you do that, you should see an assignment. If the sub would be so kind as to please go around and check and make sure everybody's logged into vocabulary.com under the login and added the class. You should see an assignment in the corner somewhere. Maybe you guys could help the sub out, show them what it looks like, tell them the title of it, and then let them go pop around and check and make sure everybody has it. Check with your neighbor, make sure they have it. If you're not in this account, I have to come find you, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so everybody's into vocabulary.com. Go ahead and pause this as you need to and walk around as need to. Okay, the next thing I want to go over really quickly is this late work submission. All right, with the vocabulary.com, you know it's due on Friday. Here's the thing. I don't really grade it till Monday. I'm not going to sit there on Friday night at 11:59 grading your grammar or your vocabulary. No, I am going to wait till Monday morning. I'm going to come in at 7 a.m. and that's when it goes in. As long as your work is in there by 7 a.m. Monday morning, it's not late. So if you do it on Saturday or you do it on Sunday, I will not mark it late, even if vocabulary.com marks it late. I will not mark it late. If you're doing it while I'm grading, you're late. And you're late from Friday, meaning Saturday and Sunday will now count in your late time. So it'll be 10% per day late. Okay, so you get a free extra weekend as long as you get it in on time. If you don't get it in on time, it's not a free extra weekend. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's say it's late. You forgot. It happens. It's 10% per day late, plus you have to fill out this form. If you don't fill it out, I won't see it. I won't put it in there. Even if I see it, I won't put it in there. You have to fill it out. You have to fill it out. Okay, that is your contract saying you know it's late. All right. You have to submit the work in addition to filling it out. You can't just fill out the form and not submit the work. Okay. The grade changes are only allowed for a specific 5-week period. So you can't turn something in from the beginning of the semester and at the end of the semester. No, it's only good for a 5-week period, each 5-week period. The other thing you need to know is it's a 10% per day deduction. And I put this in when it's convenient for me. So this doesn't go in automatically. This is not attached to any program. So sometimes students think, oh, I turned it into the late log. Automatically, it should be graded. Why haven't you graded it? No. I will grade as it works into my grading schedule. And usually I wait until I have all these in, a whole bunch of them, and or even just 3 or 4, but I wait till I have 3 or 4 of them in because I have to open up all these forms. I have to open up this work form, this late work form. Then I have to open up whatever it is that you did. Then I have to reopen up the grade book. Okay. Then I have to go back and log off that you did all these things. So I go through to see that you did it, and then I go back to mark it off that you did it. I'm not marking it off as you go because sometimes people don't attach things at the very last stage. So it's a lot of stages and steps. I'm going to do this when there's a chunk of them, not when I have to kind of interrupt my flow. All right. So you are signing to indicate that you understand this will not be entered until the grade deadline is due for the current grading period every 5 weeks. So if your parents are harping at you that a grade isn't in, you need to tell them this. It won't go in until the 5-week mark. That's it. So if you're grounded, I am so sorry for you. I really, really am. I understand that, but that is not my doing. Okay, that is yours to do. All right, so make sure that you get your stuff in on time and that you fill this out. Okay, so that is the late work form. We've done vocabulary.com. The WEPA print just tells you where you can get your printing done on campus. Computer numbers. This is where your computer numbers are. You will need to know these. Now, let's say you come in on Thursday and you forgot your computer number. All I'm going to do is say, open your phone, go into your Google Classroom, click on this. There's your computer numbers. No big deal. Okay. Turnitin.com. The next thing is turnitin.com. Go ahead, log into, I'm not going to flash this for log into turnitin.com. Your codes are there. The codes are different for the classes. Please, Mr. Substitute, will you please, or Ms. Substitute, will you please go in and check that they're all in English 11A for turnitin.com. I will let you go ahead and pause for now. The next thing we're going to do is annotation resources. I just wanted you to know these were there. We're going to give you print copies of this, but these are the different things we expect you to use when annotating these different techniques. I imagine you've seen this before. It's probably not the first time you've taken a gander at this, but I just wanted to make sure you understood that you had a copy of this for yourself so that you can use it as needed. Okay, and that should walk you through the Google Classroom. Now what I want to do is the course orientation. And this will take a little time, and the first day is a lot of talking. It's not the most fun start, but it's very, very important. Okay. Okay, so let's go over the course orientation. All right, so to start, oops, make it bigger. I can get my computer to make it bigger. All right, this is a teamed class. So English and history go together really, really well. And I didn't really see that until I was in college and I was taking an English class from the same period as my history class. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Why don't we teach things this way? And we didn't up until, I started working with Dr. Shapiro here. And incidentally, Dr. Shapiro and I are really, really good friends. We've been working together since we taught, trying to think, ninth grade together for several years with Mr. Cagley. I call him Captain Redbeard. And we also have worked together many, many years at 11th grade. So he is my homie, my bestie, and we work really well together. So we are able to team this class together really well, which means you're reading one book for both classes. And we're talking about it in both classes. We're having quizzes about it in both classes, and writing about it and everything. So and just like on Friday, we're going to combine two classes together. We do a lot of that together. And it's really neat because you can kind of see how the literature is the history of the people and their time period stuff. So we're even reading I'm reading about books now about like say 9/11 and the aftermath of 9/11 and in fiction stories. And so we're going to see the same thing with COVID, and that's going to be the documentation of those time periods. So that's what history and English actually are, but people separate them out in schools, and I wish we blended them more. Okay, so we're looking at literature, history, and culture and the ideological origins and independence from Great Britain through the events of the past decade. We're going to read, write, present, research, all of those things. Plagiarism and cheating, big one. There is to be no AI usage anywhere in this class. There will be some times we'll use a little bit of Brisk, but unless we use it for an assignment, you're not to touch it or use it. That goes for Grammarly. No Grammarly. I would highly suggest you take it off your computers at home because we want to see your actual grammar errors. We want you to know the right rules. We don't want you relying on Grammarly. Let me work with you on some of that stuff, okay? And how to do that and see it yourself. Because when you get to college, I'm telling you, I'm watching my daughter go through her college experience, a lot of in-class writings without computers, pen and paper, for her English classes, and she's taken a couple, and they've both been like that. So we want to make sure that you guys are ready. No AI, no chat GPT, none of them, none of any of that stuff. If we see that you're getting AI marks, then we're going to have to treat you accordingly. Okay. If we need to go to paper and pen, we have no problem going to paper and pen to ensure that we get the most authentic writing that is yours. So don't be afraid of your writing if you don't feel like it's something you are comfortable with. I don't want to say you're not good at it because you're probably just not comfortable with it. We'll get you as comfortable as we can. And I've got a lot of good strategies and techniques for you. So please just trust me and give me your own writing. Okay. That goes for any assignments, any tasks, no AI, no cheating. All right, grading is what you guys are generally the most interested in. We do a lot of different kinds of grading, but it's a weighted system. So sometimes students will go, but I got an A, and the grade goes down. Well, if your A is a 90% weighted against 100%, then yeah, it'll go down. That's just the basic math. Other than that, I'm not a math person to explain it more than that. Assessments, projects, and presentations. This is where all your writing goes. Writing is the most important thing to both of us. So it's 40% of your grade. So all your essays and writing goes in here. That's why you don't want to have catch a plagiarism charge. You're hitting yourself in the biggest possible category. It is very hard to recover and get the grade that you desire. Doesn't mean you won't get a decent grade, but some kids have a specific grade in mind, and you may not get that if you start cheating and plagiarizing your assignments. But yeah, we give you a lot of good feedback as well. Then we have course assignments. Those are a little bit smaller. Those are 15% of the grade. These are more of the everyday types of assignments, notes, summaries, things like that. Then we move on to vocabulary and geography quizzes. Okay, those, he does geography, I do vocabulary, and that's from the vocabulary.com. We do it through the vocabulary.com program. It's self-checking, and it doesn't give each student the same question at the same time. You're getting the same questions, but at different times. If you move off of the screen, like if you had a different screen up and you maybe say wanted to check an answer, it'll mark your question wrong. So it's got some checks in there that I really appreciate and like. You just take it yourself. We do vocab jams. So we do some games and you get stickers as prizes, like nice bottle stickers, not little teeny paper stickers, but like nice size stickers with funny little sayings and memes and stuff all over them. So yeah, it's worth your while. Most students score A's on these vocab quizzes. They don't seem to have too much of a problem with them. If you just do the work and you study a little bit, you should be fine. And the program gives you lots of ways to study, so it shouldn't be a problem. If you're spending more than, say, 20 to 30 minutes on these, like you're spending 45 to an hour on these vocabs, you may possibly be doing the wrong thing. You may be doing too much. You don't have to get to perfect mastery on every single word. You just have to get through the activity. So if you want to get to mastery, you'll definitely score well on the test, but you don't have to get to perfect mastery. Quizzes and tests. Those are different. Those are sometimes like he gives history tests. Sometimes I give other kinds of quizzes, not too often, but mostly the vocab test. This is where your reading quizzes will go into place. So those tend to be a little bit harder for some students if you're not reading and really like paying attention. We try not to ask you trick questions. We try to ask you comprehension questions if you read it, but not if you just read the Cliff's Notes or if your friend just told you what happened. You shouldn't be able to pass it based on that. Like it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Final exams, they're usually a performative task. They're 15% of the grade. Sometimes finals are a group final. We do not give early finals. So if you are not here for the final, then you get an incomplete and you have to make up the final when you return. So please talk to your families about taking vacations during the school year. That also goes during the school year. If you're not here and you have a group project, you're doing it by yourself. You're letting your teammates down. You're making school harder for yourself. So it's really, really, really important that you be here. Just taking weeks off to go do this, that, or the other is just not a good look. It's not a good idea. And we highly, highly discourage it. We're generally not pleased when we see that happen. So please try to be here. Okay. So final exams, no early finals given. Strategies for success: utilize a planner or other schedules to ensure good time management. Practice good note taking. We don't have a specific style of note taking we require, just something that we can read it. If we can't read it, we can't grade it. Practice good note taking and annotation habits. Maintain a healthy diet. Have regular attendance. I can't stress that enough. If you're not here, you're not getting the material, the instruction that I'm giving you. I can't write it all down for you. You have to be here. We have an established writing guide. There's a link there for you. Use appropriate note taking strategy, identify words and phrases. This is for note taking and annotation, ask questions, comprehension. We'll go through this more later and be concise. Read before taking notes, answer comprehension questions or analysis questions after required reading is done. I don't usually do read and questions. That's just if we sometimes will pose some questions to a video or things like that. It's because we want to make sure that you understand it and that you know the important details that we're trying to convey across here. And then review your stuff on a regular basis. We are going to go over controversial topics in this class. That's just the nature of the class. It is so, so important that you be respectful in how you express your opinions. I'm going to try to be devil's advocate and always portray any other side I can think of. In here, it'll say we will always present both sides. Often there's like a third or a fourth or a fifth side sometimes. There's so many perspectives to things. We're going to try to catch all the different angles and perspectives. So please know if we start with one, we're not ending with one. That's just the one we put out there first to, and then we'll get into all the other ones. If we end with one, there's no reason we ended with one. There's no reason we started with one. So please know we're going to try to get everything in there, but you must speak respectfully. You're allowed to disagree respectfully, kindly. Okay, that's so, so important. We're going to have in-class videos. I usually edit them. They're not really good edits. You can laugh at them. They tend to be funny for students, but it's just to make sure things are appropriate. If I haven't edited something, it is very intentional because there's something that might be a little difficult that I want you to see because that's the nature of the history of it. So I'm not showing you anything potentially hard to see just for the sake of showing you, just to shock you. I would never do that. It's like, this is intentional. This is why we're doing it. If I'm blocking stuff, it's because I think it's just too much and it's not necessary. And history has a lot of ugliness in it. So there's a lot of good in it too, but we might see some of that ugliness. Technology. We are using technology in here. We have computers and stuff on campus. We use wireless technology as well. And final words, if you have any questions. We do have this signature sheet we need you to sign. So please do it in pen. One thing you're going to notice or hear a lot about is I can't see pencil very well. I have an autoimmune disease that makes it hard for me to see pencil in the glare of this light. This light is actually too bright for me, but it's the lead has a shine to it, and I can't see the difference between A's, C's, E's, and B's and D's. I can't see where the line is on those letters. So there's an O's. O's are hard to tell the difference between A's, E's, C's, and O's because they're all kind of similar. So please always write in pen. And then we will always use Arial font because Time New Roman gives me migraine. So you'll find I have some, excuse me, some vision issues that we're going to have to, you just have to use certain color pens. That's all. So dark, dark, dark pens, blue or black, no reds or pinks. It's too hard to see. Okay, and that is our course orientation. Let me just make sure I got through everything. Course orientation, vocab. Go through here. Yeah. All right. So the final thing so these are due Friday, and you take a picture and put it in your Google Classroom. I don't have it up right now, but I will make sure that I have that up for you. Okay. Finally, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to start talking about your junior senior project a little bit today, just a little bit. What we're doing this year is going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past, and we're really, really excited about it because we're kind of setting you up for making a difference in your community. But in order to do that, we have to talk about culture. We have to talk about your cultures. So I'm going to show you this little video, and it's going to kind of talk about culture in a town. And the reason I did, it's a little bit sing-songy, but I liked it because I want you to think about the different cultures and environments in your town that you're a part of. And then we're going to make a chart, and I'll show you what that looks like. So let me go ahead and get this video started, and we will watch this together. I can get my video to work. There we go.
When I ask people in Hamilton, what is culture? I get a lot of different answers. But what is it really? What is its value? And why does it matter? So, where to start? I live in this city. It has roads, clean water, electricity, police stations, hospitals, schools, but every city has these. What makes Hamilton different? Well, this could be where culture comes in. Let's see. Festivals and events, a thriving art scene, stories and customs, a sense of history, cool architecture, creative talent, public art, and even outdoor places like parks, farms, and waterfalls. These are all considered to be part of culture. All of these things create activity and buzz, a positive energy known as cultural vibrancy. And this vibrancy helps to build community, define neighborhoods, and make the place we live in have a unique identity. It also leads to attachment. People that are attached to Hamilton want to live here. They get involved, and they talk about it. As the word spreads, people come, and businesses too. This attracts more people and then more businesses. Creative talent is drawn to Hamilton and is already 1/3 of the labor force and growing. I guess you could say that culture is all the things that make life in a place meaningful and interesting. It's valuable because it can promote identity, creativity, tourism, jobs, and growth. And it matters because it contributes to quality of life, creating attraction and attachment, revitalizing neighborhoods, transforming cities, and making communities attractive, open, welcoming, and vibrant. So, if we take away culture, then what do we have left? Get culture. Love your city.
Okay.
Check this out. This is
All
how
right.
I can.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to think about, I want you to think about all the cultures you are a part of, all the different things that make up your different cultures. And within there, we're going to find something that you're going to focus on. But until we can get there, because you don't know what the end project is, it's not an American culture project anymore, it's something else. So to start off, you're going to make one of these. And you can see it's kind of complex. There's lots of writing on there. But I want you to start with this to figure out, who are you? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Coggle, Coggle .it, COGGLE.it, and you're going to go ahead and create an account and log in. So go ahead and pause this video as needed to get everyone logged in. Okay, once everyone's logged in, you're going to have a blank sheet, and it's going to have a center portion. Just put your name in the center, and then you're going to see all these little pluses on the side of it. I know you guys are going to figure this out faster than I can teach it to you, but if you hit the plus, a color comes out. If you I say middle finger click. Is that right click? You'll get more colors. You can really only access the outside ones. So it's right finger click. You can change them. Oh, that's an upgrade. Maybe it's the inside ones you can change it to. Yeah, you can change the colors here. You can cross that one out if you don't. Oops, what did I just do? I just delete one. I undo. Oh, I just deleted something. You can undo something. See if I can undo that one. Yeah, you just cross it out that way. I crossed out on my thing. Okay, you can change the colors around that way. To keep adding to it, you just pull, you kind of follow the plus at the end of your thing. You can get another plus sign. Okay, and you add to it. What you want to do is think of your major categories. So my major categories are work, language, values, travel. So with culture, it's things like, do you love to travel? What languages do you speak? What are your hobbies and interests? So that's what I have mine up here to kind of show you some of those things. So for languages, this is just a little bit about me. 3 languages. Well, there's more, but there's a couple. I speak English, obviously, American Sign Language, because my son is deaf, and a little bit of Yiddish, because my husband's family is Jewish. I also knew at one point, and have forgotten some, Spanish and Italian. I understand a little bit still, but not a lot. But I didn't put them on there because it's not really a cultural value. Sign language is a cultural value. We use it at home. My son was doing sign language at COC this summer, and he and I started doing it a lot more than we've been doing it in the past. So that's going to be more of a part of my life. For work, not just a high school teacher, but I was also a professional choreographer and dance coach for hip hop and jazz for high schools and stuff. I also was a crew chief for Rose Parade floats. So every year, at the beginning of the year, they had Rose Parade floats going down in Pasadena. I was in charge of one of those floats every year. So Farmers Insurance, I actually was a float rider one year, and I actually was an animator. So I was inside of the float, moving the moving parts of the float. So I was very involved in the Rose Parade float. So I put that was one of my educational cultures that I was a part of. English teacher, dance teacher, and my work values are to always take responsibility for my actions and listen to bosses and stuff. For holidays and celebration, we celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas. 4th of July is another one we really like, but I wrote down that, like, my husband sings the menorah in Hebrew while my kids scream at him because they don't like singing. Well, my son loves singing, but they don't like my husband singing, if that makes sense. And my daughter doesn't like my husband singing. They both have perfect pitch, so if it's just not like exactly perfect, they get really upset. So sometimes we do the chocolate coins. They usually get one present on the first day and one present on the last day. And then we also do Christmas. We don't do all of Hanukkah presents and all of Christmas presents because we can't afford that. Growing up for Christmas, we always went to a movie on Christmas Day. That was our tradition and celebration. Other families, other values, family values, we always respect the elders. In our personal house is a lot of talking loud and interrupting each other. I have a really bad problem with interrupting, so I apologize in advance. When I do that, I get really excited. Travel values, we have a lot of travel values. So I've traveled all over the world. I've been to 20 some odd countries, many more cities. So I have travel values as well. The values that go with it, it's not just the places. You want to kind of think of the value systems within there. So there's different ways that I travel. Like in Egypt, when I went to Egypt, I had to be careful not to drink the water or have any ice in my drinks because there's certain enzymes in the water in Egypt that the American dietary system is not used to. And so we get really sick. The Egyptians don't get sick. It's fine for them. Their bodies are used to what's in the water. So things like that. You have to learn about the country before you go. And those are just things I did. So anyway, this is my chart. And I'm going to need you guys to make a chart of your own, make a coggle with as many things about you as you can. What are your languages you speak? What are your values? What What are you involved in? I was a dancer when I was a kid. I've studied martial arts, so I would put athletic values in there. I just didn't get to everything. What are your athletic values? What do you like to play? What kind of music do you listen to? What are all those things? Because eventually you're going to go into a community and help one of these communities in some capacity. But for now, let's just brain dump all the things you're into. And this is a chance where I could kind of look at that and get to know you a little bit. Now, you're not going to turn them in right away, but I want you to spend the rest of the class period playing with this and working on this. You don't have to be dead silent. You can just kind of play with this. You can talk to your neighbor to kind of go, well, how does this work? Talk to the sub, show the sub what you're doing, try to figure out how this works. But I'm going to leave this up here. The sub could freeze it. Oops, I have another one here. Freeze it as much as possible. I can try to share it with the sub as well. Zoom it in little spots throughout. But that is what we're working on now. Before leaving today, make sure your computers go back into the right computer spot. Make sure you grab your phone. What is due is the signature sheet for your course orientation and your inventory sheet. You're also working on your vocab. Okay? That is it for me. Feel free to look at this and pause this. I'll keep zooming in and out a little bit so you can kind of see some of this stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.